So what about your name, Reece? Like
Reece. So my granddad nicknamed me Reece when I was young. And I think if you wait too long for everything to be perfect, it'll never be perfect. You gotta keep working, like, and I feel like I still haven't reached, you know, the pinnacle, but I don't know if I'll ever feel like I've reached that point, you know, like, and I think that's a part of it. Me and my mom had got into it because she was like, move with caution now, and I'm like, I am moving with caution. You don't think I'm moving with caution? And I'm like showing her the neighborhood, like, it's good, I'm good out here. And I got robbed while she was on the phone by the Uber driver I called. What is self-explanatory? Like, we not the same. Like, and also people not the same. That same business partner who was out there traveling,
they made up a lie on you, cousin.
Yes, she done made up, and I'm on Threads. And she was actually traveling too and stuff. I'm on Threads, and she's like, my business partner just got violently robbed and she's in the hospital. Like, she had to come rescue me. Like, she made it seem like and she's staying with me till we ship her back to the United States. I never even said I was going back to the US. Like,
cause it's T, we making moves, we just might go and make the news. Brand new episode every week, yeah, we dropping heat. Got a 7 with the juicy questions, this unfiltered tea. When you sit up on this couch, you picture like some family. There go Boo behind the scenes, he's securing everything.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Goddess 7, and today I have a very special guest. I am so honored to have y'all. For those of y'all who don't know, she's a very talented artist who has made her own lane when it comes to music. She's also an entrepreneur who curates dope events. She's a solo traveler and an author who's written a guide for traveling. And she's a personal chef who specializes in vegan dishes. And she turned her recipes into songs, y'all. RECEE RAPS in the building with your favorite cousin, Reece. Hey, girl.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for pulling up,
yes,
girl.
Of course.
Yes, y'all don't know how long I've been waiting for this interview, so I'm just filled with joy right now.
I'm honored. No, it's been forever, and we're supposed to get up, so I'm glad it all happened when it's time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what about your name, Reece? Like
Reece. So my granddad nicknamed me Reece when I was young. My granddad actually got me into performing as well. He had a production called The Unspeakables. It was lip syncing. So those were my first shows from when I was like the only kid member of the group, and like those were my first shows. Eventually those were my first paid shows. I didn't know everybody else was getting paid, so I was like, wait a second.
How old you was then?
I started at 4 and I went to age 12 doing that. So he nicknamed me Reece. So I didn't perform again until I moved to Charlotte in 2018, and that was my first time like performing my original music. But then I used that name that he gave me because he got me into like being in front of people, and I and everything is like honoring him.
That's dope. So your first hustle was actually like as a kid.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I guess that was my first time getting paid off of anything, actually. Yeah. So I was like in 4th grade, like I was getting like $40 a show or something, but that was a lot for me in 4th grade. Yeah. So yeah, it was, we had like the shirts with my name on the back. I would do rehearsals every Wednesday. He would give us songs to learn and stuff. I would have solos or group songs and stuff like that. So that really got me into being in front of people. But then I was like shy after that, when I stopped doing that, I didn't realize that was still like a big part of me. So I went and performed again in Charlotte. I was like, oh, this is like, I love this still. This is still me from when I was a kid. So yeah, he definitely has a big impact on me. And also my middle name is Sharice. I think that's where he got the nickname from. Okay. But I don't know. I didn't get to really ask. He passed in 2011. So I didn't really get a chance to ask like, why you called me Reece, but I can only assume it's because
your middle name. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so 2018, you transitioned to Charlotte. What brought you to Charlotte?
It's kind of a long story, but so when I was in 7th grade, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So all of that happened in Pittsburgh. I moved from Pittsburgh when I was 12. That's why.
So you like the Steelers?
By default, I have to. I mean, we 6th grade. I don't watch football, but I'm a shit talk whenever someone bring it up, because you know we tied, we got the most rings, so
okay,
we might not have got none recently, but
yeah, y'all got them.
Yeah, we got them. So yeah, I moved from Pittsburgh when I was 12. Me and my family moved to California. We lived there only for 6 months. Then we moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and I went to 8th
Your
grade.
parents was in the army or something?
No, so my dad's actually a computer programmer. He was getting laid off. He wasn't updated on his languages and stuff with the computer because he's been doing that since the 80s. So he got a job offer, and it was like, he was unemployed for a few years in Pittsburgh, and that's when I lived in the hood and stuff. I'm glad I had that experience too, right? So he got a job offer. It was in Cali, but it was like 6 months to hire. And so we was like, we either stay in the projects in Pittsburgh or we just go to Cali. So we went to Cali, and he didn't get hired on. So then he found another job in St. Louis, lived in St. Louis, lived there for 4 years. He got laid off. Like when they laid off like half the company. He got laid off, got another job in Kansas City, Missouri. Then we moved to Kansas City. And then like by then he's learning new languages. I'm like, so now we can take our pick. So I came to my family. I was like 18 or 19. I was like 18, yeah. And I was like, we should move to Charlotte because I had worked at Quick Trip. I started Quick Trip when I lived in St. Louis. I transferred to Kansas City. And then they built that new division out here in Charlotte. And I was like, I'll get promoted quicker if we move to Charlotte. We're closer to our hometown. It's warmer. We don't have to deal with the harsh winters. My mom loved the beach. I'm like, it's closer to the beach. And they're like, you know what? That makes sense. Yeah. So they was like, all right. So my dad, his job was like, can you stay one more year? So they was looking for stuff in Charlotte, then his job wanted him to stay. So they stayed another year. Within that year, I met my ex. I moved out. And then the year was up. My parents moved to Charlotte, and then I stayed behind in Kansas City. I stayed in Kansas City. My parents and one of my siblings moved to Charlotte. And then when I got out that relationship, I wasn't even working at Quick Trip at this point anymore, and I ended up moving to Charlotte when I got out that relationship in 2018. So my parents moved here in 2015 with my sister. Another one of my sisters moved from Pittsburgh to Charlotte in 2016. Me and 2 other siblings moved to North Carolina in 2018. So like my immediate family is actually here because of my idea to move to Charlotte. So I kind of set up that place for me to when I got out that relationship. It was an abusive relationship. I got out of there and I came to Charlotte. Yeah.
Okay. So did you visit it within that 3-year time frame?
I visited twice. I have visited for like 24 hours once in like 2015. When my parents first moved, and then my mom turned 50 in 2015. Me and my other sister surprised her and came out, and I was in Charlotte I think for like 4 or 5 days, and it seemed so different back then. It seemed so new and fresh and like so I did visit. It was just different from anything. Like now I'm like, it's normalized. I've been here, but yeah, I did visit. I didn't do much on the creative scene or anything, but because I wasn't actually pursuing music until I moved to Charlotte.
Okay, what do you love most about Charlotte?
That's a good question. What do I love most about Charlotte? I love the ability to be able to build something here that you don't see. So like this is one of them places where you can create what you don't see. Like if you feel like there's a need for something, like something's missing, then I would challenge you to create that, because this is a place where I have learned so much. I have built so much. You know, I've been supported and building and not being from here too. You know, and I feel like it's a good launch pad. So that's what I like the most.
I could definitely agree. I think that as well. Okay, so growing up, what was that like for you in your household? I know y'all moved around a lot, but like in your household, what was growing up like for RECEE RAPS?
I'm the youngest of 5 siblings I grew up with, and then I have another brother as well that I didn't grow up with on my dad's side. My parents are married still to this day. I'm the youngest, so I had 2 older sisters that were born in the 80s, and then like me, my sister, my brother, my sister, we are all a year apart. So it was like the three of us were younger, and then I have a sister 8 and 10 years older than me. So it was, loud. A lot of people, growing up around a lot of family. It's different times. It was different, like my dad, he worked, my mom would stay at home until my dad was unemployed. Then my mom got a job for the first time. But it really depends on what point in time you asking about, what era. But I originally grew up in the suburbs, and then in 4th grade we moved to the city of Pittsburgh, and then that's when it was different. It was me and just my and the younger ones and stuff like that. My mom was working at a daycare and stuff because that's all she knew how to do was take care of kids and stuff like that. So it was definitely just a lot of siblings, you know, fighting and dysfunctional. That's how it was, dysfunctional for sure. It was very dysfunctional.
What about favorite artists? Did you have a favorite artist growing up?
It started out, I remember I really loved Aaliyah, and like then she passed. I was really sad about that. I liked Destiny's Child, you know, like in like 03, like that.
Soulja Boy. I mean, I Need a Soldier.
I'm like Soulja Boy, not quite. I need like when they did the Dangerously in Love and all that stuff. Yeah. I remember having that CD, having the CD players. Later on, when I got into rap, I liked Kanye, I liked Eminem. I listened to a lot of that, and I would like learn Eminem raps and like try to rap fast and act like they was my own raps and stuff like that. Kanye, I really liked like Homecoming, and that was like my favorite song. I'm trying to think of any other artists, but I listened to a lot of different music because my granddad put us up on a lot of oldies, and the songs that we would be lip syncing would be songs like from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and stuff like. So I would lip sync like young Patti LaBelle songs. Yeah. We would like do the Pointer Sisters, like the old Alvin and the Chipmunks songs, stuff like that. So, and my mom listened to like. Oh, she had that Carl Thomas CD. Like that CD was. I used to love that CD. Just a lot of like R&B. We didn't listen to a lot of rap in the house, but it was like on my own. I got into rap more. So like around 6th grade and stuff, I got into that. And then I like pop music too. I remember like 7th grade and in high school and stuff like that. I listened to like that song Bulletproof, that pop song. I would listen to. Corinne Bailey Rae, I used to love Like a Star. I used to love that. Different pop, like Cooler Than Me, I like into 10th grade. So it really just depends on all. It was a wide variety.
That makes sense though, because I can hear all of those like in your music. Like I can hear the Eminem. I can hear when you rapping fast. I can hear like the Kanye, the country side, like, and I can hear like that pop tune too.
Yeah. It was a little bit of everything. I feel like, and it just different phases. Now I listen to like Anderson .Paak. That's my favorite artist right now.
Okay, I see you went to his concert. Right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've been to 2 of his concerts now, and I'm like, yeah, he's lit. I really enjoy his music. But I'm my favorite artist. So.
Yeah, you're your favorite artist. Okay, so when you got to Charlotte, what made you say I'm about to tap into this music side, open this back up?
Well, because I had started rapping when I was 19, and that was right before I met my ex. I got like, if you look on my YouTube and look at the oldest videos, there's videos from like 10 years ago on there. And that's me rapping. My delivery wasn't there, but I was always a good writer because I grew up writing like just from poetry to like fan fiction. I wrote a little short story. I wrote like a little, I was in a gifted program. We did like a movie before, like a short film that I had wrote. And
Girl,
we actually
you was in
acted
gifted
up.
classes?
Yeah.
So what happened when they used to take y'all to that room?
So it was different in Pittsburgh. Up to 3rd grade, they took us to the room. You said what happened? They used to have us. I don't remember on the early, like up until 3rd grade, but when I got into like 4th grade, we actually went to a whole nother. We did one day out the week, like every Monday, they took us to a whole gifted center, and we would be doing all types of stuff like writing short films and acting it out, and we wrote in 8th grade we actually wrote books, and they printed them, and it was a physical hard copy book and stuff. So we would be doing like all types of different things, like debates and stuff, like a lot of different things. I used to try to skip gifted because I would miss out on stuff, like miss out on the Halloween party because it fell on a Monday, and I used to try to skip the gifted bus. I didn't see it as like a privilege all the time, but we definitely I don't remember what we did like in elementary school, but we did some cool things when I was in middle school, like just.
Girl, because I was watching a program about the like gifted classes. That's why I asked that. And they were showing how like there's a lot of kids who were in the gifted program, they end up working for the CIA.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
Yeah, because like the type of stuff in the test that they were doing was like to see their like mind frame, and a lot of them end up being like remote viewers and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's why I asked you that.
Yeah, so for me, we didn't have it in high school. We had it up until 8th grade. Like, I don't remember, you know, in high school you just have the AP and stuff, but I started, when I moved to the hood, I actually stopped, like, I realized the difference in between like getting rewarded for being academically smart versus getting rewarded for being like a class clown. You know, so like I became like a bad kid when I moved to the hood, like, cause that was what is rewarded in the community, unfortunately. So I started like in high school, I really didn't do good in school at all. Like, I went from being gifted and doing great, but in high school I didn't do good at all. I almost didn't finish high school. And then just because I skipped like most of 11th grade. Like, I actually, only reason why I did graduate and get my diploma is because they had a program called Missouri Options. If you were over a year behind to graduate, they let you take your GED test and still walk with the class and still get your high school diploma. So I actually graduated early in October of my senior year because I was behind. It was weird.
Hey cousins, it's your girl Goddess 7, and listen, this commercial break is actually sponsored by me. Y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon and get this manifestation journal, 369 21-day manifestation journal. I'm gonna help you manifest all of your dreams, everything that you're inspiring. I'm gonna help you get there. I'm gonna guide you in this journal. Make sure y'all go check out Amazon Prime. The link is in the description. Go get your journal.
Writing and gifted and writing before that, and I would write like fan fiction, like, what if Sonic and Amy, they got together and stuff like that. I didn't know it was fan fiction at the time, but I was always a writer. So when I got to writing raps, it was like very natural to me because I had already been writing my whole life. And then I was posting them and stuff like that. But then when I met my ex, he like made me take all of it down, like put all my videos on private and like discouraged me from doing that. He gave me like an ultimatum, like, oh, it's either like music or him. And I was like just starting out, and I thought it was like more of a hobby. And I'm like, well, this is the love of my life. And, and you know, so I was in a very controlling relationship from like age 19 to like almost 24 when I moved to Charlotte. So when I moved here, I felt like I had wasted so much time because it was like 5 years from when I first started rapping and putting stuff out. But, you know, that was the course I was supposed to run. I was a totally different person by the time I got out that relationship, you know. I had to really like release everything materialistic and just like, I went in there totally different. So when I got to Charlotte, I was like, I'm going to just go so hard because I felt like I had to make up for lost time. So I had always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to be, I used to want to be a singer growing up, and then I lost my singing voice more in puberty, and I was like, damn, I can't be no singer no more. So rapping was like my way of doing what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be like an actress or do something like in front of people. So it was just me going after what I've always wanted to do, and finally free in adulthood, like my first time like being single and living on my own and doing all that. I was like, yo, I gotta go hard.
Okay, so when you started performing, your first performance after you got back into it, your first performance on stage, what was that experience like?
It was at Red's at 28th. It was an open mic. Shout out to a poet named Superman. He does every Wednesday release therapy, and I would go to the writer's workshop. And then I remember it was like 2 weeks, I was like scared. I was like, I'm gonna go up today. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I was like very shy. And then when I finally went out there, I performed my song, The Diary of a Pothead. I would just, and I would just practice it. I was practicing my living room, like I gotta get every word right, because it's like a lot of things, a lot of words in that song. So, and everybody showed me so much love that first time. Like, I think it's very important to have those platforms where people feel comfortable enough to perform for the first time, because that can either make or break you as an artist. Like, imagine everybody was unengaged and booing me and shit like that. I would have never probably performed again. So because it was like a supportive, safe space, it was really good for me to start out, and that's what inspired me to keep, like, I'm like, oh, I forgot I like love this stuff. And then I performed like maybe like 3 times in 2 months. And then in August, I took the whole month off of work in August, and I was like, I'm gonna perform as much as I can because I don't want to look like I just started. I ended up performing like 100 times within like a 4-month span in my first 4 months of performance. Like, and then at the end of that year, I won a Queen City Award for Female Hip Hop Artist of the Year. And this was my first year in Charlotte, my first year pursuing music. I had only been outside for like 6 months, like from June to like December is when I had won that. And for me, that was more symbolic. Like, I can think of something and go for something and then be rewarded. Like, I did so many things for the first time in 2018, like just from performing to just doing my music, recording, you know. Shout out to K-Figs. I met him at the mall when I first moved here because I moved here with no clothes or nothing. I left everything behind because it was like an abusive relationship. Like, I had to leave to save my life, like, pretty much. And I was having to, and good thing when I did move, I had a lot of money to start over new, but it took time to like rebuild my wardrobe, do stuff. Like, now I got too many clothes, but I would always be at the mall because I was like trying to buy more stuff, and I end up meeting. I was like, I need a studio, I need a professional studio, and I met K-Figs at the mall, and he's a dope producer. He actually produced my first records to where I got to skip some steps, even though I was starting later than what I expected. I got to skip the whole. Like, I was getting all exclusive beats at this point. I had money to invest in my craft to where those first songs are I'm still proud of them today. You know, my first songs in the studio, my second session in the studio. So, and it was a lot of practicing, you know, to get to where I liked it when it actually happened. So, everything just fell into place once I left that relationship and just really put everything into myself.
Yeah. How often do you practice?
How often? Not as much as I should. Nowadays, not as much as I should, but it's really, I should be practicing every day. But I rap when I feel like it now. I be doing so many different things. It's like, I always do something creative, but I'm not always doing my music unless I'm in a creative period of time. So like when I was in Colombia, I recorded new music and it's more like pop alternative music, and I'm always memorizing my lyrics before I go in the studio. Like, I like to write my stuff alone and then go in the studio prepared to where I'm not wasting time going through and just laying down the record and stuff like that. But I used to practice every day, like it'd be like, but now it's like it's second nature. And then when I was performing every day, damn near, it was like I didn't really have to practice because it was like I was performing every day. But if I have a show, I'm gonna practice for the show or something and prepare something for the show. I had a couple shows last week, and like when I was in Bangkok, I did some shows out there and stuff. So I'll practice for an event rather than just
performed in Bali too.
Yeah, I performed in Bali as well. I performed in every country I've been to. So from Canada to the UK to Colombia. And then that's my thing now. It's like every country I go to, I want to find a stage. So yeah, I performed in Bali. I shout out to the Blue Door in Bali. They do an event out there. And I found that because I was out in Bali in July when I was like just on a visa run because my visa was up in Thailand. And then I met a lady getting a new swimsuit, and she the one that told me about that platform. And then I was thinking of going back to Bali once I did my show in Thailand, and then it all like aligned. They did a show. I'm like, wait, I'll be back. And they put me on the lineup. So that was cool. Colombia, I just stumbled upon some things to perform at. But Thailand was the place and Bangkok was the place where I actually did the most like outside creatively, like performing, paid shows and stuff like that. Like I co-curated an event out there, you know. So that was a place where I actually did the most like what I'm doing out here.
Okay, so with everything that you know now, like when it comes to being an artist, the experience that you have, and with today's society, what advice would you give the Cuzns about the quickest way that they can get noticed by people who are curating these events or getting that traction towards them?
I feel like you just gotta do it. I mean, I used to think I did it when I wasn't ready. I did it when I wasn't sure, you know what I'm saying? I just went out there and I was like, yo, I gotta do it. And I just did a lot of things, and I learned a lot because I just did them. And I think if you wait too long for everything to be perfect, it'll never be perfect. You know, so you just gotta jump out there, dive in. Like I literally dove in and was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm really gonna do it. I'm not gonna play with it. And I think that that's my biggest advice. I used to think like I did the wrong thing by doing that. Like I remember like 2019, I'm like, I did not feel like I could be inside. I felt like I had to be everywhere. I pulled up to places even when I don't perform. I think that's big on people. People don't want to pull up unless they're performing. But you know how many paid shows I've gotten by just being in the building, or how many opportunities I've got by just pulling up. You got to pull up like to stuff even when you're getting your name out there. You got to kind of be everywhere before you can go and be inside, right? So when I was performing all the time, I was meeting a lot of people and it was really good, but I forgot my train of thought again. But I would say just go for it. Yeah, so in 2019 when I feel like I can't, now I feel like I gotta be outside everywhere and I'm not able to create like I was before I actually popped out. Because when I first created a lot of my music, I didn't even have social media. So I was able to it was just me and the music, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get social media, I didn't get Instagram till 2018, like midway through. So I was like, all right, it was just me and the music. And then I didn't have time because it was about me being outside all the time. But then COVID happened and I was like, damn, like if I didn't go outside before I was ready, I would have been waiting for the perfect time. I know people that was like, yeah, I'm a pop out 2020, you know, 2020 vision. And then like, ain't nobody popping out. So you never know. Like you got to just do it while you are able to, you know, if you're able to, you got to do it. You got to get your feet wet to where, all right, now I don't necessarily have to perform. I don't have to practice every day because I put in so many reps. I put in over 10,000 hours on this. I've done so much to where I do have to practice every day if I'm like going on tour or something like that. But like I do feel like you just learn so much by just doing, and you're able to like compound that progress, you know, and add and build on top of it when you actually.
What about music itself? Like how do artists go about keeping their music relevant?
I don't know how you keep it relevant, but to keep it relevant to you, you know, I don't know how you keep it relevant to
like the audience, us.
The
like
audience.
how today Chris Brown is still relevant. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't Chris Brown. So I feel like,
but even with you, like you and your music is still relevant from when you first started. That was in 2018. Some artists after that first year, they just, nobody's really checking for the music.
I think consistency. You have to stay consistent. Like you have to keep reinventing yourself. Like you can't just stay in one box. Like you really got to keep reinventing yourself. I done reinvented myself so many times where I feel like people thought I done fell off and I done came back so many times. Like you just gotta keep working. Like, and I feel like I still haven't reached, you know, the pinnacle, but I don't know if I'll ever feel like I've reached that point, you know, like, and I think that's a part of it. You gotta never be satisfied, but it's a double-edged sword because you have to celebrate your wins at the same time and feel like, okay, I have accomplished something, you know, like you gotta, I came a long way and I still got a long way to go. And but you got, each part is equally as important as well as the present, you know, the present time and what you do with your time. And like I do so much, like even outside of music, you know, I just do a lot. I create a lot of different things, and that's helped my brand awareness a lot by being multifaceted. But then again, it's like if I just focus only on music, then maybe only my music will be further. But I just feel like I like waiting on people, and I feel like a lot of the things that I create is out of necessity to just get stuff done. You know, I started doing events because I seen we needed more stages out here for a certain type, for different types of artists. Now you have multiple stages for different type of artists, but in 2018 it was like a dead point in Charlotte creatively. There was only trap stuff for real when I moved here. There was more non-trap stuff before I moved here. Like if I would have moved here in 2015, I would have had a totally different experience. But I moved here in 2018, and I was like, we need to create more platforms. That's why I started doing events. I started out with open mics and then moved on to other things, founded Dope Events in 2021. And it really just, you got to do a bunch of stuff. Like, you got to do a bunch of stuff. And especially to make money as an artist, like, you have to, I made a thread. I'm like, you got to be like you got to have basic graphic design skills. I know how to work Canva. I could go ahead and put myself together a tour flyer.
YouTube will tell you everything you need to know.
Exactly, like, and really experienced too. You know, by just doing it, I've learned a lot by just doing stuff. Like, you gotta know how to book your own shows. You gotta know how to get a venue. You gotta know how to do some event curation if you need to. That's a big thing that has been funding me, is being able to do events, like, and not be selfish about spotlight and stages. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can shine in their spotlight, because not everybody gonna put other people on and shine light on other artists as well. And I think that's just a part of my character. But sometimes I'd be like, oh, if I would have just like stayed on just me. But then I feel you need a team to do everything. I feel like if you just focus on one thing, but I did ask and do a lot. You need a team still, but I could do a lot. I've done a lot with just me, like getting shit done.
Having a team gonna free up some of your time, so you could, you know, like zoom in more on just the creative part that you want to do.
Right, exactly. And it's been, I like to do stuff in like groups. I'm like, all right, well, I might focus on my vegan content in this part of the year, or I might focus on my events in this part of the year. It seems like it comes in seasons for me. I'm focusing on my personal music in this part of the year. So I was focusing on myself when I start traveling in January. So I've been traveling. I traveled 7 months this year. And when I started traveling, I was more just focusing on me, myself. I thought I was supposed to be doing events in Colombia, but that didn't pan out. And I ended up getting in the studio and recording a whole project out there, you know? And so it just, Bangkok, I thought I was going to be more inside, and I ended up being more outside and performing. So sometimes you think this is how you're going to be somewhere, and then it ends up being totally different. But Bali, I really was just chilling. I did perform out there, but most of my time out there was more just relaxing, being in the sun, seeing the nature, you know, stuff like that. So it was the perfect way to really like come back on that note, you know, where I was like, because Bangkok was more like I was grinding out there, you know, and I did an event from Bangkok in Charlotte, you know, and my team ran that for me. That was important for me to see that I can, just because I'm not there,
it could still go on.
It could go on without me. So I think it's important to build systems and let them run and let people do their thing. So I've been building a lot, you know, a lot of foundations to where it's coming together. I see it coming together.
What do you think it would take to get more mainstream artists from Charlotte? Because it's a lot of talent here.
More collaboration without trying to be monetized off of each other. I think that's what it's going to take. I think people have to see the big picture. Like, people want to get their dollar up front instead of being like, yo, if we all work together to do this, we all can eat in the end. But instead, it's like everybody got their hand out for, I know you was talking about someone trying to charge you $700,
girl, and I was not playing it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit that goes on in every aspect of the creative scene here in Charlotte. It's like everybody want $1 instead of like, let's collaborate together on this project. We're all artists, from the videographer to the photographer to the artist to the producer to the musician. We're all artists, to the stylist to the fashion designer. We're all artists. And if we put our art together and really be like, all right,
push each other.
Right, and push each other, that's what it's going to take. But people just, you know, they just want to come up on the next one. And and I get that too, because like, I get you got to survive too at the same time. And a lot of people are struggling too. And that's why I say stuff like these grants, like you get a grant and now you could, all right, so say we all collectively apply for a grant. And it's for like $20,000 for this project. And now everybody getting paid, but we not getting paid off of each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's why today will be my last creative grant. class
Because that was one of my questions. Why is today gonna be the last day?
Today gonna be the last. Because I was promoting it. It was like sometimes I do only 10 spots. And when I first started doing them, they would sell out. But then I feel like when people think it's going to always be another one, they just don't appreciate the information. And I felt like it was too much of trying to like promote, like y'all get this, like when I'm not even charging that much for the information. So I was like, this is not worth it for me to keep promoting. It's not worth it for me. I'm giving out a slot. I give out a free slot, do a giveaway, right? So I have to do the class regardless. I'm promoting this for like over a week. 0 signups, and I still have to do it because I gave away the slides. Yeah. So I'm like, it's not worth it for me to keep putting these out. Clearly, y'all not interested in it. I'm not gonna keep promoting it and wasting my time and energy. It takes a lot of energy to do that, especially for one person.
You gotta look up all that information, research, put it together.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy and time and just talking, and it's a lot of information and stuff like that. So I feel like it was a good thing that I was offering, and it was for a good rate. And I also take responsibility. Maybe my branding isn't good enough, or maybe but then at the end of the day, I know it's a bunch of people that ask me about it. Hundreds of people that ask me. I feel like if I ain't did one in a couple months, I should be able to get 10 people to sign up. Now, granted, once I said this my last one, now 10 people don't sign up. You know what I'm saying? But it's like at this point, it's not worth it for me to block off the time, keep promoting, because I don't want my whole page to be promoting grant shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I offer it, it's because people ask for it. And I actually was on a grant panel, and I went through people applications. I read all these applications. I'm like, I need to do another grant class, because it's like I came across applications of people I knew never took the class, and it's like I had to. You're supposed to be unbiased. I had to actually turn down people I knew of on the creative scene because they didn't. If they would have just took the class. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could have known what's
some of the
needed.
things that's being offered in your class. Can you tell them?
Yeah, so I teach you how to find creative grants. This is specifically for creatives. It's like these are not business grants. This is a niche. I've gotten creative grants. I've gotten awarded over $60,000 for creative grants since 2022, and I don't even apply for a whole lot of grants. So I teach you how to find creative grants. You don't need a LLC to get a creative grant. They don't check credit. You don't need a nonprofit. You don't need to found a nonprofit to have certain creative grants. You might need a fiscal sponsor. I even set up people with a fiscal sponsor through a nonprofit. I know if you don't have access to a fiscal sponsor, a nonprofit, I teach you what a fiscal sponsor is. Basically, some grants have to get paid out to a nonprofit. They're not necessarily on the project, but legally they have to pay out a nonprofit. Then the nonprofit gives you the money. You might give them 5-10%. Like as a courtesy, right? So I connect people with fiscal sponsors if they need it. I'm teaching you how to write a grant. We're writing them. I have a grant worksheet where we're finding grants, people finding grants in their county. I teach you how you do the exercise for 10 minutes where you try to find a grant in your county. You find a grant in your county. I say, okay, now write as much as you can for 10 minutes about what this grant project would be. I give them feedback on what they write, answer questions about that. Then after that, I teach them, we go through budget sheets. We make sample budget sheets for a project. So say you have $5,000, how would you do the budget? Give them feedback on their budget sheet. Then I teach you, once you know how to do it all on your own, then I teach you how to use AI to simplify the process, because I don't believe AI should be used as a primary form, but it is a tool that you can use once you learn the basics. Then I show you the prompts that I use to help AI, because I've been getting grants before ChatGPT, but then ChatGPT sped up the process a lot on having to write these grants, but there's a way you have to do it to where it still sounds like you know? So then I teach them how to use AI to do it. Then I teach them tips and tricks and different resources to follow and everything like that. And then, then they, that's pretty much it on, I think that's all my modules and stuff like that. So how to find it.
You is doing a lot.
Yeah, and then I lowered the price to $50, right? Yeah, when I was charging like over like 88 to 100 for it, and then I'm like, damn,
that still ain't even a lot though for all the stuff that you're learning.
Exactly, and I believe that too, and I'm like, and But I was getting, like, when I upped the price, I was getting maybe 2 to 5 people signing up. So, and then when it was 50, that was before I made the worksheet and made it more interactive. I used to just talk for the whole 3 hours and go over it. Now I have a worksheet where we stop and you actually write stuff real time and stuff like that. That's when I changed it from a workshop to a masterclass, when it became like more interactive. But it was 50 at first, and I was selling out at 50. But then when I was putting it at 80 to 100, I was getting sometimes 1 to 5 signups, you know. And then so I was like, let me put it back at 50 to make it more accessible for people. And then niggas still ain't signed up. And that's why I was like, I'm tired. Like, I'm done doing it, because I could literally use all this energy that I'm doing these workshops and just apply for more grants for myself and for my own projects, because I don't apply for grants as much as I should. I'm one of them people. And I see all the people that consistently get grants, because I go through the applications and stuff too. And I've been on the grant panels multiple times. So I get to get feedback from the other side as well, right? And I see people that constantly get grants, and they're not putting people on how to do it. They're just continuing to apply and do their projects, and nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying this is something that I have not seen anybody else offer. And there are people in this city that consistently get grants, and there are people that are grant dependent. That's all they do is get grants all year round. All they do is get grants. All they do is get grants to do what they do creatively. That's not, I'd be doing stuff on my own too. I'd be putting my own money up too. Like, I've never gotten a grant for dope events to do a dope concert or none of that. You know, I've always put my money up, because when I could just be like, all right, I'm gonna apply for grants all year round and just become grant dependent. Nothing wrong with that, but that just ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? I like to give back. I like to teach other people how to get these opportunities, because I used to think that wasn't for us. That wasn't for hip hop artists. But really, there's organizations that get incentivized for giving Black people grants. And if you're a minority, or if you're LGBTQ, or if you're low income, you know, they're incentivized. That's why they ask that data, because they're like, I teach them how to recognize what an organization's values are, so you know how to speak to their values and everything like about that. I'm really giving a lot of game in these classes. So, but this will be my last one, but I will record it, and I'm gonna just start selling them digital products to where people can do it on demand. So where I'm not having to like block off
residual income.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna sell the digital product rather than pushing a grant, because people say, oh, they don't have time or whatever. Now it's just here. You ask me for it. It's here. You buy it or you don't. You know, the money come in or not. So this will be my last one, but it is going. I will still offer the information, just in a different format.
That's a smart business decision, though.
Yeah, because it was a lot of frustration, like, and a lot of, and it's better live, you know. But I'm not gonna keep doing that to myself, like, and doing that. But I feel good about it, because I've definitely probably had over like 50 people take my class. I've been doing them online since last year. I probably did like 7 online. I think I got to count, but I really want to focus on, because I do feel like a good amount of these people have good potential to get grants. I do want to focus on offering the people that did take the class more resources to where, and opportunities to where we can apply for grants together and stuff like that, to where I want to see them actually get it, because you give people the information, that don't mean they gonna actually apply it. And grants are a longer game. It could take like 4 months from applying to actually getting it. So I don't know yet. Like, I haven't had nobody come back and be like, yo, I got this. But I do understand it takes time, but I do want to be more instrumental in that, rather than just keep pushing it for more people that are barely signing up. Because if I didn't make that video and say this was my last one, I probably would have sold like 1 or 2 spots, if that. You know, like, I was pushing it and nobody was signing up. So, but I'm cool with it. With this being the last one, I'm not gonna keep playing myself and keep. Oh well, they signed up. Let me do it. No, this is my last one.
This the last one. Get the digital copy.
Right.
Okay, so the dope events. What made you name it Dope Events? Did you know like this is gonna be a dope event?
So Dope Events. My first project is called the Dope EP, DOAP, Diary of a Pothead EP. So when I was calling, it would be like, I dropped that in 2019, and I was. Anytime I called somebody dope, I would spell it like DOAP. So when it came to doing events, I'm really not good at naming stuff on my own. I'm really not good at naming stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'll just call it Dope Events, because that's like, you know, that's what I always did. So that's where the name came from. Originally Diary of Pothead, but really it's just your definition of dope. And and I felt like it was a cool name.
Yeah.
It caught on, and you know, we just passed 4 years since I did the first Dope concert.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do something big for next year for the 5-year anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you've had to face with curating your event and how you overcame it?
I think the biggest challenges is when I decide to do everything. When I cause some events I'll host, I'll perform, I'll curate, I'll cook, and cook the food for the event too. Like that. Like I've done all of that for multiple events. Like, and I'll have like someone else serve the food or something like that. But when I try to play every role, that it can get frustrating because I'll be like, I remember for my release party, I did all that for my release party. I didn't host, but I did all of that. Cooked. I was up till 9 a.m. cooking through the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still had to go through and do rehearsal with the band and do all of that stuff. So I think the biggest thing to overcome that is to delegate. So like now I have a coordinator. She works the floor and everything. I have a host. Like the last event I did when I came back and I did the cookout, all I did was perform and walk around and talk to people. You know,
that was the best feeling ever.
Yeah, that was my first event. I got to just attend. My coordinator, she the one that made sure all the vendors were straight, made sure everything was straight. Strawberry, and shout out to Mrs. Socialite, my coordinator, man. Get her if you need somebody. She more strict than me when it comes to stuff. So it's like you need to get somebody that's like that's what they do. She can do admin work, administration work. So she helped me really take it to the next level, and by being the coordinator. So her, shout out to Ayo Strawberry hosted. I got my DJ Concrete. My sound engineer, Breeze on the mix. My sister, Shanae, she works the door. And so that's how I knew like everything would be good even if I wasn't there. Cause I had my core team. Like my sister was my first team member. You know, she's always been the one working the door at my events and stuff like that. And then like my DJ came along and my sound engineer and like who used to work the door for me too on certain events. Like you just gotta I had my core team, then I added those other people to take roles, and really even adding more people. I need to add a graphic designer. I need to add, cause I'll be doing the graphics, making the flyers and stuff like that. So I'll just continue to expand. I have a team of like 6 people now, where I was doing this stuff with just like me and a DJ and my sister, you know, and then it was like, all right, well now the sound engineer now, and so on. So like just keep building, and and I still have multiple roles that I play, like from the marketer to the, like I said, graphic designer. Those are really the main roles I'm still playing right now. Answering the questions and stuff like that, you know, promoting is a big part of it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Goddess 7, and this episode is sponsored by a couple different sponsors. So y'all already know I had to shout them all out. First of all, y'all, I gotta shout out Robinson Hustle 8, because guess what? They branding us over here. Y'all see these cute little glasses that I be drinking out of? Hold on, let me take a sip. Y'all see this? Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this cute little liquor ice bucket, whatever you want to call it? They made all of that. So if you're looking for some custom shit, make sure y'all go shop with Robinson Hustle 8. They customizing all your needs. I can't forget about Q3 Designs and Things. They're also a sponsor of Cuzn Tea Podcast, and they're a branding company for us. They made us these cute little shirts, y'all. Y'all like this shit? Y'all see this? Look, you need some custom shit for your business, go shop with Q3 Designs and Things, because they're going to get y'all right. They're going to get y'all everything that y'all need. I also cannot forget about Gemini Hookah, because they keep me smoking good on every motherfucking episode, y'all. Y'all see this hookah? They sponsored that for us. They did some other sponsorship, but most importantly, y'all, they got them hookahs, and y'all know I love hookahs. Look, y'all, hold on. See that cloud? See how that smoke just come out real thick, real cute or whatever? You could be smoking like that too, y'all. Go shop with Gemini Hookah. They got these ice packs. They got these portable hookah tips. You can take this thing anywhere with you. And they got hookah candles, y'all. They got different shisha flavors. They can make you anything you want. So make sure y'all go shop with Gemini Hookah, y'all. Go get y'all hookah. Until next time, cousins. Bye. Okay, so you also got your food content. How long have you been vegan?
I started out vegetarian in 2017. Then I went vegan like a year, in like early 2017. I went vegan in late 2018. So it's been going on, 8 years now since I stopped eating.
What made you switch over?
So I went to a Buy Black fair in Kansas City when I used to live out there. And it was like, and I never thought veganism, it was such a foreign concept to me. I always thought it was just a white people thing. I never knew anybody that was vegan. I think
most of us used to think that.
Yeah, because I never knew any vegans. I never knew no vegetarians. It's always seemed like it was bland food. You know, I just never, it was a foreign concept to me. So somebody had gave me this book. He gave it to me for free too. And he was like, read this book, it's gonna change your life. And it was called Maintaining Our Temples. And it talked about how that really black people was the ones that wasn't eating meat like that, you know what I'm saying? And talked about how the meat, they be getting abused their whole life. They release a lot of stress hormones and stuff because of the conditions that they live in. And then you're consuming that meat and you expect to feel light or feel like you in a good mood. It weighs you down a lot. And about 3 months after reading that, I decided like I wasn't going to eat meat after I read that book, but it still took me like a few months to actually like lay the meat down. And then when I finally did, I noticed my digestion got a lot better. Like, cause I used to eat meat for real. Like I would be like, Kansas City is big on barbecue. Like me and my ex used to work together when we sold insurance, and we would be in the break room with like a whole rack of ribs and stuff. Like, yeah, I was really a meat eater. That's why people would, when they be like, oh, I couldn't do it. It's like, trust me, I ate meat. Like I ate meat more than a lot of people. But it was like, I wasn't constipated anymore. It worked a lot for me. It made me feel better. And then anytime in the first few months, I would like, oh, well, let me get some chicken wings or something. Yeah. I would feel so bad. It would be greasy. I felt like a damn cannibal. I was eating like bones and skin and veins. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do it no more. So, yeah, and then I found out about
when you went from vegetarian to vegan.
No, this is when I was vegetarian still, and I tried to go back after like a few months and eat meat, and I would feel so grossed out by it. And then when I cut out cheese and dairy, same thing happened. I was like, well, let me cheat and get this veggie lasagna, and then it ain't come out right. So I was like, damn, I can't even cheat because my body is like rejecting this stuff, you know. So. And the longer you go, the more stuff your body will reject. But I did learn about eating by blood type as well. So some people eat according to their blood type. It's called the blood type diet. When I found out about that, I was already vegan, vegetarian. I don't know what
your blood type was like the vegan diet.
Yeah, A positive. You're supposed to eat vegan according to them. I take stuff with a grain of salt, but I already was on that. So it just kind of reaffirmed my beliefs that they say because of people with A positive, we have the like weakest stomach acid, so it's harder to break down. Like
what they say about O positive?
O positive, red meats, lean red meats. They say you do need a little bit of red meat. My sister cut out red meat forever. And she's an O, but then she realized when she started eating beef again, her iron was so low, nothing would help. But she started eating beef again, it helped her iron. So everybody's different. I used to think, veganism was just like, all black people should be vegan. No, I think you should try it out for 3 weeks. And if you notice a positive change in your body, then keep with it. You know, sometimes people are plant-based where they'll eat a little bit of something else every once in a while. But I do feel like if you are eating meat, there's certain ways to eat it. Like that's why the Jewish people, they eat kosher because they know you're not supposed to kill meat any type of way. You know what I'm saying? So they eat kosher meat. They still make sure it was killed in a certain way to where the animal wasn't in pain, and they're using every part of the meat. I do feel like if we did eat meat back in the days, we would ask the gods or whatever you believed in for the meat. Like it's just so many different things. Like to consciously eat meat, I do feel like some people could do, but a lot of times we're not consciously eating.
That make a lot of sense because I'm vegan, but I'm O positive. But when I switched over to veganism, one thing, everything was good, but the one thing that happened is like my hair started getting a little more brittle, and it was because of iron. So I have to consume more kale than a regular person probably would, and stuff like that.
You got to be more intentional about it, because for me, I'm like, it just worked perfectly for me. Like, and I really can't, I can't go back. Like, I'm just like, yeah. So why did you?
Well, I switched over to vegan because of health reasons, because I was dealing with kidney disease and I was dealing with lupus. And the lupus is what caused stage 3 kidney disease. And the doctors had wanted me to go like start taking some medicine when they found out like I was going through kidney disease. And the ingredients and stuff, well, not the ingredients, but the stuff that it was saying the medicine would do, what is it called?
The side effects?
The side effects of the medicine, it was just horrible. Like, one of the side effects was death. So, girl,
I don't believe in medicine.
Yeah, I was just like crying, and then I just prayed and I told God, I was like, look, this medicine saying gonna be death, kidney stuff is death. Like, I'd rather just take my own chances and try to heal myself. But I didn't know how I was gonna heal myself, girl. After I finished praying, I went on YouTube and I found this doctor, this white lady, her name Dr. G. And she was just telling her story about how she reversed lupus out of her system by going plant-based and adding all this raw food in her diet. And I did that, and within like 3 months, my kidney numbers had done all the way reversed around. Like,
wow,
yeah,
that's
girl,
amazing.
Lupus reversed out of my system. So I just like continued on that journey because I see where it brought me from.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I've definitely heard a lot of stories like that, but it's beautiful to be able to see it in person. Yeah, because I mean, I do when I do insurance, I sell Medicare and I talk to people on the phones. Old people on the phones, Medicare eligible people, and the ones that are healthy, it be what they eat. They be moving around too. Like, it's not by chance people be acting like it's hereditary or whatever. No, it's like the habits, the eating habits are hereditary. The lack of exercise is hereditary. I be seeing what people be putting in their carts at the grocery store. It's not, it'd be a whole bunch of just processed food and really that's
most
really
of
what
my
be killing
grocery
us.
come from produce now. So
Exactly. Yeah. I made some kale. I made some raw kale. I love making this like raw kale wraps earlier with a seaweed wrap. I made that. I made a vegan oyster mushroom chicken.
You made a lot of food.
Yeah, I make a lot.
Was it good when you first started doing it?
It was good, but I recommend when you first start, find some things that you can make and just keep making those things. And I really didn't start cooking. Until 2018. Like, I used to, my whole first year vegetarian, I was just eating like cheese fries and shit. and veggie egg rolls and stuff. When I was first vegetarian, I didn't start cooking until like I was in Charlotte and started getting into cooking. And then when I started posting the vegan content, it made me even think outside the box more and do all types of different things that I had never done before.
With it.
Yeah, it was like, and the reason why I started rapping with it, because I already had the page, but I was, and then I would be posting some recipes, it'd be getting more views than my music page. I'm like, I'm not trying to be just known as the vegan chef. And so then I was, for real, I was like, so then I was like, well, if I rap the recipe, it still has to do with my music. So then I started rapping the recipes. It took me like, I overcomplicated it in my head. I thought it would be like so more difficult. And then when I finally did it, I was like, I did it. I'm gonna start rapping. I went from like, I think I had like 500 followers on that page when I first posted my recipe rap, and I got to like 12K in less than a year. So I'm not as consistent as I should be, but I'm gonna get back into it because I did get a grant to do a recipe book. So I have to finish that by December and get that out. So I'm gonna work on that recipe rhyme book, and then also with a soundtrack. So I want to do a holiday project with that.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope, Reece.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you was in Colombia, Cuzn, you end up getting robbed. What happened with that situation?
So I got robbed by my Uber. I went to go get food, and it was ironic because I was I was living in this place. It was super nice. Like, Ciudad del Rio was super nice, and Poblado. It was like, really felt safe. People walking around, people got their phones. Like, it was just, I felt safe. I had lived there for over a month at this point. And I had been in Colombia for like 6 weeks. And me and my mom had got into it because she was like, move with caution now. And I'm like, I am moving with caution. You don't think I'm moving with caution? And then like we had happened to talk, and I had, and she's like, well, what's your apartment? I'm like, here, well, I'll show you my apartment complex. You see, I'm safe, you know? Then I'm walking down the street, and I happen to be talking to her on the phone. And I'm like showing her the neighborhood, like, it's good, I'm good out here. And I got robbed while she was on the phone by the Uber driver I called. So he rode down the sidewalk and like just like snatched my phone out my hand. And I was like moving at the same time. So I guess my lip got busted while he was snatching it, because he did, like, he snatched my shit out my hand. And then I had tried to chase after him, then fell trying to chase after him. So then my whole knee scraped up, and I was just like, fuck. And but I brought an extra phone just in case I get robbed. So then I was like, all right, well, I got my extra phone, whatever. When I turned on my extra phone, I kept saying, like, damn, my Uber was supposed to pull up. My Uber motorcycle was supposed to pull up around the same time, to where I thought he was the Uber motorcycle picking me up. Then I'm like, damn, I really think that was the Uber driver who robbed me, because he came the same time that the Uber was supposed to come. Nobody ever came and said, hey, where's Shauna? We're picking up. Nobody ever pulled up and on a motorcycle after that. Nobody else. It was just the guy on the motorcycle that robbed me. So I went to the Uber app, and I seen the ride had been taken. And at first I'm thinking, like, maybe he just acted like he took the ride just so he could get paid. And then it said, no, we took the ride. I disputed it and said I didn't take that ride. And it said, you've been dropped off at a different location. Are you okay? Because he didn't go to the actual location that was the thing. And I'm like, that's weird. So I disputed, and then Uber's like, no, you can't dispute this, because our GPS technology shows that you were in the same vehicle as the driver.
Oh, because he had your phone.
Right. So that's what confirmed that it was my Uber driver that robbed me. But then I ended up getting him banned off the app. But then I tracked my phone. He took that shit to the hood, Colombia, and it was out. And so I get it. But that's what told me, because I was thinking about staying in Colombia. I love Colombia.
What's the number you call in Colombia? Like when we call 911?
I don't even know. So the people that were the bystanders called 911 for me. I don't even know Spanish. That's when I really felt alone out there. Like when I'm like, damn, like now shit go down. I don't know Spanish. I don't have a phone to translate. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But these people from Spain, this family, they were nice enough to help me translate, walk back to, because I was right down the street from my apartment. They would walk back with me, help me translate and everything. The police ain't really do nothing, but I filed a police report. Ain't nothing been done for real, but it was just, the people are really nice out there. I didn't have nothing bad happen to me until then, and that was like day 44. And people, I did all types of shit before that. This was when I least suspected it, broad daylight, like right by my house. There was like Starbucks and walking in. It was like a really nice
something
neighborhood.
your mama telling her, like, let me call my baby.
Yeah, and it was like, I was defensive, because I'm like, you think, because she was responding to something that I posted on social media saying, oh, the performance was in El Centro, but people told me not to go there. But I asked the locals, though, that invited me out there, and they said it was fine. And so, of course, if I'm going to a place that is dangerous, I'm going to be on edge. That's why I got robbed, because I got too comfortable, because I wasn't in a place that is deemed dangerous. I was in a place that looked safe. I was in a place that I had lived for some time, so I felt like I knew the area, I have seen. So it was when you least suspected. That's why that's why they say don't get too comfortable, because even when you think everything's sweet. Because this was not a place where I felt like I had to be on guard, so I wasn't as on guard as I would be.
You said one thing you learned was to watch your surroundings more.
Yeah, for sure. Watch my surroundings more. Follow my heart too. I feel like I got robbed because I was called to go to Thailand in April in my heart. And that's actually what I was talking to my mom about. That day they was asking me if I wanted to extend my Airbnb past April. And I said, I'll tell you later on tonight. I was going to go eat and then probably extend my Airbnb. But instead I got robbed right when I was about to go eat. And but that conversation I was having right before I left I was so confused. I was like, I don't know. Do I go to Thailand? Do I stay in Colombia? Because I was going to do something in Colombia in April. I'm like, that makes more sense to just stay out there. I don't want to go to Thailand and then have to come back, because I had something I was supposed to do in May in Puerto Rico. And I was like, I want to go to Thailand, but then I'm gonna have to come right back. And then my mom's like, well, yeah, no, you don't want to just go for a month and just come right back. And I'm like, yeah, I just didn't know what to do. And when I got robbed, it just was a sign for me, keep going, keep going on your plan. The day I was flying out to Thailand, the business partner from Puerto Rico canceled the retreat. And but imagine I was building my whole life around something and someone just gonna cancel it. So that told me like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, like staying behind. I followed my heart, and then when I got to Thailand, it was like I knew I was supposed to be there. Like everything was like I was supposed to be out there. I really feel like that robbery brought me much clarity, you know. And then it also got me in the studio. So the last 3 weeks, that happened the beginning of March, and I was set to leave April. In the last 3 weeks, I got in the studio and I recorded a 9-song project, and I'm gonna call it Medellin Nights. And it's music I recorded while I was in Colombia, and I wasn't really even focused on.
I Don't Subscribe when you was there?
I recorded that when I was there. Yeah.
Girl, that song is hilarious. I love that song. So we're going to do Help Me Understand These Lyrics, and we're going to get ready to get out of here. And that's the song we're going to talk about. I Don't Subscribe. Okay, so on that song, you say, high key, I know deep down you're nothing like me. We're cut from different cloths. So when you say you nothing like me, I'm cut from a different cloth, what does that look like? RECEE Raps, cut from a different cloth.
I feel like what is self-explanatory, like we not the same, like and also people not the same. That same business partner who was out there traveling,
they made up a lie on you, cousin.
Yes, she done made up, and I'm on Threads, and she was actually traveling too and stuff. I'm on Threads, and she's like, my business partner just got violently robbed and she's in the hospital. Like she had to come rescue me. Like she made it seem like I was, and she's staying with me till we ship her back to the United States. I never even said I was going back to the US. Like she made it this whole thing. Like, and I'm like, that line was for her. Like you ain't nothing. We cut, like we not the same. Like I would never do that to somebody. Like even it just. People just be so different. It just be like, you don't have no morals. Yeah, you don't have no morals. It was psychotic. You know what I'm saying? People don't be having no morals. And really, it's like, we just cut from different cloths. And then also, another thing, me and a lot of people that's watching what I do, we not the same. People be worried for me and scared for me and all of this. And it's like, we not the same. Like, don't be worried if I ain't even worried. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, ain't nobody like me though.
Yeah. Okay, so you also say sightsee into the landscape of my psyche and you just might get lost. So when they sightsee into the landscape of your psyche, what they gonna see, cousin?
A lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. I be doing so much, and I think so differently, and I don't even realize how differently I think. And just, I've always been like that. I'll create, like even when I was a kid, people used to copy off my tests and stuff. I made up my own thing where I would only fill in the letters. I would be like, do a slash like this, that meant an E for me. I would do like a half a line, that would be an L. I would do like a dot, and then right when I'm about to turn it in, I would go and fill in the rest of the letters just so people would copy. I'd be like, I just do stuff like that. Like I was one of the kids trying to hide my paper. Like I seen the meme and said those kids became vegan, and those kids that used to hide their papers, and yeah, we did. But I just feel like I just be thinking about a lot of stuff differently, like than what a lot of people, and I don't be speaking on a lot because I be like, what's the point? Sometimes there's been times where I've been more vocal, but it's a lot going on up here.
Yeah, cousin.
And you might get lost if you
go into the landscape.
Yeah, if you see things how I see things. So
that's why you was in them gifted classes.
For real. For real.
Okay. Everybody asking, are you okay? Everybody asking, are you okay? If I say no, what happened after that?
They don't really care about it anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody asking, are you okay? Everybody asking, are you okay? If I say no, what happened after that? They don't really care about it anyway. I bet a lot of people can relate to that. Are you okay is such an empty thing to ask somebody. It's like, quite frankly, no, I'm not okay. You know, I just got robbed in a foreign country, and then I have to deal with, and then I'm sharing that, And then in the midst of sharing that, now I'm being treated like a victim. And now everybody like, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel so sorry. I don't even feel sorry for myself that I got robbed. It brought me clarity. I learned a lot. You know, I went through the stages, and then I finally came like a few days later, like, I'm glad that this happened because I learned so much. I'm more aware. I've never been robbed before, you know. The first time getting robbed, you know, you can see stuff differently, you know, and everybody asking, are you okay, and stuff like that. And it's like, then what? You know what I'm saying? If I say no, then what? What if I'm not okay?
Yeah.
I'm not okay, you know, but just, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Everybody was asking that. It went from like, because I got off social media after that, and really they were asking that because I stopped posting on social media too. It got worse. And then it went from like maybe 1 are you okay message to 2 are you okay messages a day. And then one day, like 15 people hit me up at 7 a.m. asking me, am I okay? And it's like 3 weeks after I got robbed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, then one of the messages like, Reece, please respond. They saying you got kidnapped. You missing on Facebook. And niggas done made a status on Facebook saying I went missing. and like not even thinking about, you don't think about the Now, I'm like, I didn't even have social media downloaded. Now I'm seeing like all this open discourse. Well, she did stop posting, and that's weird. And like, all these people openly having. I ain't seen none of them people at a dope concert when I came back. I ain't seen none of them people at none of my shit, none of my shows I just did. Like, y'all don't really care about it anyways. Stop the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like y'all want to have open discussions about me on Facebook and shit, and that shit.
None of y'all came.
None of y'all came. None of the people that was
coming. Did you really change your phone number, cousin? Because you said that in the song too.
About to change mine. I said I'm about to, and I didn't. Like, that's how I felt though. I was so annoyed from that. I was annoyed by the girl making up all that shit about me. Like, and it was I had a I don't know if you seen when I posted like the conversation I was having the same night I wrote that. And I was just so fucking annoyed by everybody. And I had to get off the phone. I was talking to my engineer, Breeze, and I was like, I just got to write a song about this. Because I had already been recording the other stuff on my project. This was actually one of the last songs I wrote. And it's the first song I dropped when I was in Colombia. Because I was like, I just got to get this out. And I wrote that. He said, yo, I ain't never seen no one write a full song that quick. I called him back 30 minutes later, like I had a whole song.
That song dope though. And not just in our culture, like that's gonna be a hit in the pop culture too. Like,
thank you. Yeah, it's definitely like it came from a very real place, and it's like, and it explained a lot about where my mindset was, and it helped me like just kind of compartmentalize my emotions, and I love when I'm able to do that with music and just use it as therapy, because that I was just so frustrated with so much shit, and it's like I don't subscribe to all that bullshit y'all talking about. I don't subscribe. Like, get your fear off me. And the person that made the status, I literally told her I was okay. She just didn't believe it was me. And she wanted to FaceTime me, but I'm like, I ain't never FaceTime you a day in my life. I ain't feel comfortable. I literally did not feel comfortable talking to nobody that I hadn't talked to before I got robbed. I don't want to just talk to you because I got robbed. Now I got to talk to you now. You know what I'm saying? And now I got to get on FaceTime with people. Yep, it's me. I'm all right. This is really me. It's not the robber. It's like, nigga, I done came and y'all think I got robbed, came to social media, told y'all I got robbed, posted a part 2, posted, okay, I found clarity through getting robbed. Then I got off social media, then I got kidnapped by the robber. He came back. like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that don't even make sense. So it's like, it's like, I don't know, how would I have got kidnapped? And
right.
Are you okay? You haven't posted all week. I just feel like, don't ask me no shit about social media. If I'm not, because if somebody else ain't post all week, y'all niggas went in there and said nothing. Y'all went and started the whole search party. They talking about calling the embassy and shit. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, please y'all are scared. I feel like y'all the reason I got robbed. Y'all probably was imagining all this shit.
That energy on me.
Right, get your fear off me. I don't subscribe. Like I don't subscribe, and I feel like a lot of random people was hitting me up too. That's why I said I'm about to change my number. Like, I don't even know who y'all are. I don't have y'all number saved. I don't have no conversations with y'all. And you hitting me up, and everybody and their mama hitting me up. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And it's like, nobody hit me up now and ask me if I'm okay.
Right.
Like, nobody cares, you know what I'm saying? They don't really care about it anyways. So, miss me with that, you know what I'm saying? I shared it because I shared all the good. I felt like I had to share the bad too. You know what I'm saying? I believe in balance, you know?
Yeah.
And I shared that to be transparent, not for everybody to, I don't like being treated like a victim. That's why I didn't like when that girl made it seem like she painted me out like a damsel in distress.
And then you was like my so-called business partner.
Like, what the hell? Like, she really like painted me out like first of all, I ain't never stayed with nobody overseas. Yeah, I never had to, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it seem like that just to get some clout and making people was like, oh, you're such a great friend. She's so lucky to have you. First of all, I got family. She made it seem like my family couldn't. And it was a 3-part thread. It was like her family couldn't make it out of the country. And she busted out crying where she seen me. She was alone. She didn't think anyone could help. Like, it was a 3-part lie.
Did she take it down when you told her to take it down?
She took it down. She took down part 1, but part 2 and part 3 was still there. So I actually forgot it actually happened because I was dealing with the midst of getting robbed. Tell me why I'm hanging out with one of my girlfriends that I had met in Colombia. The first time since I got robbed, and we like talking, like we like 40 minutes in. This is like 3 weeks after I got robbed. She had did that shit a few days after I got robbed, and then I'm like, oh yeah, my business partner ended up coming back because I literally forgot that she did this because I was happened to be with her when I saw it, and she's like, oh, I'll take it down, whatever. I forgot it had happened, and then my friend out in Colombia, she was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to ask you. I seen a thread. And she done seen the thread, like this girl that I never even showed her my business partner page, nothing like that. She done seen the thread, and that's what reminded me that this shit happened. And at the same time, that was the same time where they was all acting like I got kidnapped on Facebook. And then I got to really process it now, like that's girl
why
is crazy as hell.
like that.
No, that's not why. Because this thread was like 3 weeks old. But both of that happened at the same time. So that's when I actually confronted the girl again, like, look, that's that. And she's like, oh, I just think it's because of how your audience is. She was trying to gaslight me. I was trying, you think this is a big deal now because how your audience is reacting and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, no, it's because, like, nigga, nah, you not.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. Like, you just made up a whole. And I said that I knew people would see that shit. And that's what I told you originally. Like we got mutuals, like, people gonna see that shit. She's like, oh, no one's gonna see it, da-da-da-da. And then somebody fucking randomly in Colombia seen that shit. I said, I knew people. She's like, I don't believe that. I'm like, so you think I'm making it up that somebody she didn't have none of your info and she seen it. I know people I knew seen that shit. So I still haven't even told the full story about that. Like, people gonna know who I'm talking about if you know, but yeah, she pathological liar, like just be on threads, just lying, just lying.
Can't trust nothing you say no more.
right, just lying about shit. So it's but all of that was happening at the same time, and so that song was kind of my response to not only the way I was treated by my audience, but also by someone that I knew, and I've dealt with more about the aftermath of getting robbed and sharing the fact that I got robbed than I dealt with by getting robbed itself. So it made me rethink my relationship with social media. It made me rethink a lot of things.
Okay, cousin, what's one thing that you want the world to know about you?
I think I can still do a back bend. No, I'm just, I haven't done it like a year. What do I want? One thing I want the world to know. I want the world to know me first, right? Right. I want the world to know me. If I could say one thing, I want the world to know about me that I'm multifaceted. I want the world to know that I'm not perfect. People for some reason think I'm like super nice, and I am pretty nice, but I'm also an asshole. You know, like I'm like a little bit of everything. So I don't know why people think because you vegan and you got natural hair, you automatically like I don't know, like Gandhi or something, like, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm still like I'm like everybody else, and I believe in myself. I believe that anything I put my mind to, I could do, and I believe anything anybody put their mind to, they can do and accomplish. So I think if you know something from me, if you're inspired, thank you. You know, I just want to keep inspiring people to go for it and do their own thing. And I really built it from nothing. I feel like I ain't know nobody when I moved here. I never worked out here. I never went to school out here. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody I've met has been from the music. I built my social media from scratch. I didn't have Instagram before I moved out here. It's like I invested in myself. I invested time. So I mean, I feel like anybody could do this. They just gotta really put in work. So that was a lot of things.
Okay. Before we get out of here, Reece, let the cousins know where they can find you at.
You can find me on everything at RECEE RAPS, REECEERAPS on everything. Dope events, DOAP events, rapping, recipes, RAPPING, recipes. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever you listen to music on, TikTok, RECEE RAPS, Threads, RECEE RAPS, everything. It's all the same.
Okay, y'all, make sure y'all go follow her if y'all not. Again, she is a very dope individual, as y'all can see. And I want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in, cousins. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. New viewers, make sure you subscribe so we can keep giving you this great content every week.
Right. Make sure you do subscribe to that. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Bye.
What up? It's RECEE RAPS. And you know I had to check in with my cousins at Cuz's Tea Podcast. And y'all know Goddess 7, she going to make sure she do her research. She on how to cue cards. Really great journalist, interviewer. So I hope y'all tap into the interview because we talked about a lot of different things. And yeah, check me out on Cuz's Tea.